rolling shields, I keep it pretty short right now, so there's my hand. And that just keeps it from burying as much corn. We're still burying corn, but not as bad. So it's just a 4-row cultivator. And you can see this is what's been done, and this hasn't been done. So the cultivator does a pretty good job. But you can see it has buried some corn here. It's not too much. This is actually the weed we worry the most about here. This ragweed, the giant ragweed. And if it's in the row like this one here made it, that one's gonna be trouble. There's not a lot of ragweed in this field, but stuff like this will have to be hand pulled. So it's got a big tap root on it. It takes a lot of nutrients. Hard on our corn. All the other weeds, there, you can see some quack grass in here, but that corn will get ahead of that quack grass. We're not too worried about that. And this, of course, was an alfalfa field, so there's a little bit of alfalfa left in here, but alfalfa's got a real long tap root on it. But the corn will get ahead of that. This field has already had a few passes across it. It was drug before the corn was up, so just with the drag, and then it was rotary hoed when the corn was up, maybe an inch or so. But it's been a wet, cold spring, so the corn's slow. So you can see that in most cases the quack grass and most of the weeds are about as tall as the corn is. A lot of times we try to get corn planted by May 15th or so, or before that, even a little before that. And it's warm, so the corn just, you get it planted and it comes right up. But this year it was a little more difficult. So not only are we dealing with rough prices and quotas on our milk, but we're dealing with problems in getting fields planted. In fact, we just finished planting corn yesterday, so we got, well, you can just see we got our hay off before we even had some of our corn planted, which is real not normally the case. But so we can see we got cows on pasture over there. We got all of our cows have been on pasture since I think it was about May 12th or so. And those are milk cows. A lot of them are laying down, some of them are up grazing. But we got paddocks set up throughout the farm. So you can see there's a fence right down through the middle of that field where it's this side of a fence is grazed, and then the cows will go on the far side over there in a couple days here. So this is an alfalfa field. It's got oats coming up through it. So this is all alfalfa here. This is new seeding, and then these are oats plants. So we interseed oats and alfalfa, and you can see we're organic, so you get lots of other things, but it'll be a good stand of alfalfa. We'll take oats, we'll cut the oats off of it here about the time we cut second crop, so it'll be probably the end of June or so, in 2 or 3 weeks. This will be all pretty good and tall. So anyway, that's kind of the snapshot of the farm. First crop is just about done. Time to cultivate corn, and we got one more farm of first crop to take off, but it's been fairly wet, so we'll take what we can get. Looks like rain for the next week. But so here you can see the clover is headed out, and usually the alfalfa is right behind the clover, so there's just a little bit of clover, but you can see there's actually a bud right there on the alfalfa. So it won't be long and the alfalfa will be starting to head out. So we always try to have hay made before it heads out. So this year, very often it had been week 2.5, at least 2 weeks ago that the alfalfa would be starting to head out. But I would say we're at least 2 weeks behind this year, just with how cold it was and how wet it's been. But it's still pretty, and we'll keep working at it.